Okay. This is a pain in the ass. I'm recording this with my phone, so yeah, I hope you can see it. Okay, so pretty much the way you want to start out is you want to pull the hair back. It doesn't necessarily have to be wet. If you think you'll have more control, you can dye her hair wet. A lot of people think you can't, but you can. But brush her hair back and take your tail comb. I'll tell you right now, I'm using a plastic tail comb, but it'll be a lot easier if you get a metal tail comb, just because you won't have this ridge right here, and the foils will fit better on the metal tail comb than they do on the plastic. So, like I was telling you, is you want to take your mohawk section. Alright, there's my mohawk section. And I told you about the O bone. It's the occipital bone. I can barely say it. It's a really hard word. If you feel on the back of your head about right here, you'll feel the edge of that O bone. And that's about as far as you want to take it back. And you don't have to go all the way back to the O bone, but it's just good for sectioning. You know, and of course, if you want to do a full head of highlights, you can go even farther than that, and I can explain to you how to do that at the very end. But section this off and clip it up. Make sure it's nice and even. You know, you don't want to have it really uneven, but just enough to where it looks nice. See? Kind of like it's more of the section of where, you know, if you do a little bump on your bangs, that's what you're going to be doing. And then you're going to go on the side and then take about that much, you know, about another 2 to 3 inches on the side. And on the text messages, I said a 2x4 square. It doesn't necessarily have to be that small, because, you know, like I said, you can add more foils if you want to. Okay. And then go ahead and clip that up also. Okay, and then do it to the other side. Okay. Now, if you notice, we have this corner, and the very bottom empty. If you want to, if you think that she'll want more highlights than just these sections with highlights, you can go ahead and go in, and of course you can take this and make the mohawk section go all the way down and also pin that up, and then you can take this section and pin it up to do more foils. I don't necessarily think you need to, but if you want more highlights, you can. Alright, so what I'm going to use just to help you see the different colors is I'm going to use some of my leftover Arctic Fox Wrath, just a pink color. And then on the other ones, I'm just going to use normal conditioner, just so you can see the different colors that I'm using and kind of get an understanding of how I'm doing it. Don't yell at me for wasting color. I'm doing this for you. And also another thing that'll help you out while you're doing this is if you have 2 different color foils, which you can also get at Sally's, but if you don't have the money for it, you can go and get just, you know, normal cooking foil, which most people use. You'll probably end up using it. just because it's cheaper than buying hair foils. But if you do that, take like a Sharpie or a marker or something that'll be able to stick to the foil and color one foil, the color with the Sharpie, and then leave the other one blank, and go back and forth with your color on the foil, just so it'll help you see which pattern you have, so you don't mess up while you're going through it and end up putting a medium brown with a medium brown or a light brown with a light brown. It just helps. It really does. Okay. These are my foils. These are too long. I'll tell you right now. I ripped my foils in half. So right here where this crease is, see, there you go. That's about as much foil as you need. If you have any more than that, no matter how long the hair is, you're not going to have enough control. It's just going to be a foil mess. They'll be too thick for you to do anything else, and it's just a pain in the ass. And this is maybe, say, a 5x8, 6x8, about that long. Not very long. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to come in here. See, the mohawk area. It's where you always start, especially since you're not using bleach. If you are using bleach, which you don't have to, but just for future reference, I don't start in the bang area when doing bleach, just because your bang area will lighten a lot faster than the rest of it. And I'm sure you might know that just from you dyeing your hair as much as you do. But I would always start in the middle or on the bottom when you do bleach. Okay, now we're going to take a 1-inch subsection right here in the bang area. Of course, this will be a lot easier for you because you're not having to use a mannequin. Okay, and make sure your subsection is pretty even. You don't want it to be all jagged. You want it to be a straight line whenever you section it out. Okay, and then take this hair and make sure it's pulled back pretty tight because you don't want to get color on it. And then clip that, okay? So there you go. There's your subsection, your 1-inch subsection. Now what I want you to do is take your tail comb and weave, just like this. And I told you a 4 and 3, but I did a 2 and a 3. So okay, there's a 4 and a 3. And that's about how thick the highlights look in that picture. Is, you know, that right there. That's about how thick her highlights are going to be, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull this hair back. Don't clip it. Just pull it out of your way. And these 3 colors, or these 3 pieces here, I'm sorry, are going to be what you put your first color on. Which, right here in the front, I would start with your lighter brown. If you do the first 3. Okay? Then you're going to take your foil, and about that much of your foil fold down. Okay? And it'll look a lot nicer if you actually use a metal comb instead of a plastic comb. Okay? And now what you're going to do is you're going to come right here, right where the roots of that hair starts. Pull this hair back. You're going to put a thumb here, or a pinky, however, and that finger there. And pretty much what that's going to do is it's going to hold the foil down. Okay? And I just realized I don't have a color brush, so I'll be right back. Okay, I can only find one of my color combs. It's better to have two, just so you're not having to wash it off every time you go to change colors. Just a heads up. Okay, so again, push that foil down, make sure it's tight. You're going to be able to hold it a lot tighter than me and closer to the roots, just because obviously you're going to be working on a person. I'm going to start off with the conditioner, which will be your light brown or your light chocolate. Okay, and you really don't need that much, you know, just how much you prefer. And start at the roots. Don't go straight down. Make sure you go like maybe 1/4 inch of the foil, because the color will spread. She will have a little bit of root color, and you can go back and touch that up once you get done with the foil. It's really difficult to do, to be honest, just because you don't want to mix those colors. And if anything, you're going to end up getting your medium chocolate into your light chocolate. Okay, and I let go of the foil because I put a little bit of the color there and it stuck to the foil. So you can come in here with your hand, hold under the foil, and wipe your color on that hair. It gives you a little more control, just so the foil isn't going everywhere. And don't go to the very end of the foil. Make sure you have about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch on the very end of the foil, because when you go to fold it, you don't want that color to touch and get a different color, get that darker color or the medium color mixed in with the other. And since she has long hair, all you got to do is pull that hair back up with the other hair and put color also on that hair, and it'll mix in pretty good. And it's okay if it looks tangled and routed, you know, it's not really gonna matter. Okay, see? Really doesn't matter as long as all of her hair's, you know, covered. All of it has that color on it, okay? And then we're gonna fold this foil in half. Okay, smush it down. Get the end right here really tight, okay? And then we're gonna come over here and grab about half of that foil, 1/2 inch of that foil, and fold it in. And then you can flip it over to get it out of your way, and you'll have this little piece right here of foil that you had wrapped around your comb, and you can push this up to cover that. And of course, since it's going to be right here in her eyes, if you want to fold it one more time just to help it stay out of her eyes, you can. Okay? And now you're going to come back and you're going to grab these other 4 pieces of hair that you had let go. You know, I didn't have you put them in the clip because we were going to use them again. You know, we were going to pull it out and we wanted to make sure that it was the exact same pieces of hair from the other ones, because you want those highlights to blend pretty good. Okay? We're going to go back with our tail comb, like I showed you before, about 1/2 inch wrapped over the tail comb. Place it under the hair. Finger, pull your comb out. Okay, make sure your thing's really good. And of course, hopefully you'll listen to me and actually get 2 of these so you won't have to wash this off. I'm gonna get your dark, because my reddish pink color is your dark or your medium chocolate. And just like before, put a little bit on the hair, brush it back, make sure it's stuck good to the foil so the foil don't fall out. I love this hair dye. It smells like grapes. It smells so good. Okay, fold it in half. Okay, and then you have that piece of foil that you folded back from the beginning. Pull that up, make sure it covers that hair, and then you have your two bang sections done. Okay, when you get after these two, when you get done with these two, me personally, I would go to the back, the very bottom. And the reason why is because when you're doing those foils, you're gonna have the foil facing down. You're not gonna be like this, going like this, trying to do the hair. And for me, when the foil's already laying that way, it's a lot easier to put the color on the hair. So I'll go ahead and show you what I mean by that. Okay, pull your inch out. Okay, pull our inch out of hair. Weave like you did in the front. And with this hair, if you need to, get a clip and clip it, but I'm just gonna twist it because my mannequin has conditioner in her hair, so it'll just stay there. Okay, twist this one up. Make sure it's twisted because you're gonna come back to this hair. But since it's on top, we're gonna stick it in our clip just a little bit. But make sure you can go back and find it. Okay. Give me a second, I gotta pull my pizza out of the oven. Okay. So we're gonna take our foil, like we did. Obviously, fold it over. I'm sure you got the understanding of that already. Okay, take this hair, put the foil under, directly on the roots. Okay? Finger, finger. Okay? Let go of the tail comb. We're gonna come back here, get our color, whichever color you think you need to start off with, and apply that color. But see, when I move my fingers, that foil stays there. So you can go ahead and pick the foil up and put it under, put your hand underneath it, and then you can slide that color on the foil without it moving. And it'll actually be a little easier for you. It won't move as much like it is for me, just because you'll have actual hair dye, and this is just a semi-permanent, and with my semi-permanent, it's all natural, so it doesn't have very much chemicals or anything for it to stick to the foil very well. Okay, see, and then you'll have that foil right there. You can fold it up once, make sure it's above the roots that you had. Oh, shit. Straighten it out. Like I said, you'll have better control. And then you're gonna fold it in. And if you do more than what I'm showing you, make your foils as tight as can be. Don't just do 1/2 inch on the sides. Fold it as much as possible. See, that's about as thick as the section that I have, and that's about what you need. Okay? Then you're gonna go back and grab the other pieces of hair that you had weaved out. Get another foil. And put it underneath. Thumb, thumb. Okay, I'm gonna go with my conditioner, which is your light brown. There you go. Okay. And when you're back here, if you want to kind of, take some of the color closer to the roots, you can. Just be very careful with it because you don't want it to go down anywhere else. And that's the reason it's kind of difficult doing something like this. Is because you are trying to control two colors, not just one. Okay, that's good. And then it turned pink because I didn't wash my brush off. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna fold it. And fold it again. And ta-da. You have your two foils in the back. Okay? You're pretty much going to do the exact same thing with the sides. You know, by then, all this hair will be foiled down. See? That'll all be foiled, blah, blah, blah. You're going to go back in on your sides. And just like the back with your sides, I would start at the bottom. Because it's a lot easier to clip this hair up out of your way instead of foils be falling and you trying to keep them up. If you really want to start at the top, make sure you get duck bills, not butterfly. These are butterfly. Duck bills are the longer ones. But yeah, just come here, take your inch, weave your 5 sections, your whatever you want to do, however big you think the highlights need to be. And to be honest, if you do it exactly the way I'm telling you, all this hair is going to be loose, and this is the section of hair I would clip up. And that's doing just the 4 dark browns and I keep saying brown, it's chocolate. There is a slight difference. But doing the medium chocolate and the light chocolate right here, that would be doing 4 foils of each color just in this section. And she wouldn't have highlights down here. So her underneath hair would just be the dark or medium chocolate. Okay? And then you would do your foils just like I showed you with the rest of the hair. You know, so all of this. And once you get done with this, you can pull these foils up to do this next part. And all of this leftover hair that you'll have, you'll cover in your medium brown. And with how long your mom's hair is, and if it's still thick like I know it was, I would just in case, I would get 3 boxes of the medium chocolate, and I'd get 2 boxes of your light chocolate. And since her hair is so thick, you might want to do a little more foils than what I've told you, just depending on how she wants it. But that's pretty much how you do it. Like I said, it's a lot easier to show you than it was to explain. It took me forever. But yeah, it's pretty simple, you know, and then of course, you know, leave it in for 20 to 45 minutes, really depending on how long her hair takes to soak up the color. All you'll need is 10 developer. Pretty much what 10, 20, 30, 40 is 10 is a deposit, meaning all I'm doing is putting a color on her hair. 20 means it's gonna lift 2 shades and put that color in her hair, meaning it's a little more damaging than 10. So what she's doing to her hair is the least damaging thing that you can do. Now, if she wanted to put a light blonde, or a dark blonde, not a light blonde, a dark blonde into her hair, that's when she would use a 20, 30, or 40. So that's pretty much what it is. A 20 is lifting 2 shades, a 30 is lifting 3 shades, a 40 is lifting 4 shades. Only time you really need to use a 30 or 40 volume is when you are bleaching. And that is what matters. That's how many shades it will take out of your hair. So if you're using a 20 to deposit normal colors into your hair, stop doing that, because you're damaging your hair more than what you need to. But if you have any questions, just message me. You know you can. But that's pretty much how you do it, and that's about it. And, you know, if you want to go in right here in these corner sections and put foils also, you can. With the very top of this corner, until it gets about 2 inches to 2.5 inches, I take my half foil, that's this size, and for these, at the very top of this corner, I half it again. So I'm just bending it just to show you, but my foils will be about that thick. with the corners right here at the top. It just makes it easier. There's less foil to deal with. You know, you're not worrying about foils running into foils or accidentally ripping foils out. But make sure that whenever you go to wash her hair out, you do only take this foil, start with the bang area. Take this foil out, wash it, and then take this foil out. Not wash it, just rinse it. You know, you don't necessarily have to wash them, just rinse them. And then after you have everything rinsed out or close to everything rinsed out, then you can wash her hair and get the rest of it out and make sure it's nice and clean. But that's about it.